we're gonna do a reading. I'm gonna do a reading. You do what you do. I'm not your mom. Hold on. Joker colors? Okay. We do have some music playing, so be aware of that. Use discernment. Be a very clear message for you. Whoa now. Okay. I got an email as I started, something about co-signing, or tactics for co-signing. You're breaking out of codependency. We've got the Seven of Swords upright, the Ten of Wands reversed, the King of Wands reversed, the Three of Swords, the World and the Moon reversed, the Knight of Swords upright, and the Six of Swords reversed. A lot of swords energy. We have 7, 3, the Knight, and 6. Swords and Wands, passion and action. This idea of acting again. What did I say? Strategies for co-signing. Acting strategically, or tactics for co-signing. Acting strategically, trickery, release and burnout, delegation. There's this idea. Ooh. I think you're not coming out of codependency. You're building it. It's there's this energy here of having to do it all alone because there's a lack of trust. There's a lack of security or trust that somebody will have your right intentions in mind when working with you. And this idea of never being around people that want what's best for you. So they work with you because they can benefit off you or they can feed off you. But never in the sense of like, I will help you just to help you. And I'm saying this to say that like in the way that you would need help. Two of Cups confirming that, yeah. In unified partnership, mutual attraction, proposal, marriage, connection. Now, I don't think this is love. I mean, it can be if that's where it's going. I just got chills in my body. Okay, so that's where it's going. But it's this beautiful connection of like, I'm gonna give you a personal example. Sometimes I have a child. If he's not in school and I need someone to watch him, I'll say, hey, can you watch my son for an hour? Drop me off at the dance studio. Don't ask questions. Don't do this. Don't do that. Hey, can you help me get to a waterfall? Can you help me make it to an abandoned railroad track? Sometimes it's not questioning, oh yeah, why? What are we gonna do there? Like, sometimes it's just saying, okay, and showing up without questioning it. Because yes, curiosity without judgment, but it's also curiosity is not needed as well. It's this idea of like, I trust you to see yourself so that when you ask me for something, if it's something like, hey, can you step on my back? I'm autistic, so sometimes I just need the to be squished between like the floor and something else. You know, it's not about questioning it, but saying like, okay, I know if you're asking me to do it, it probably has some benefit to it. There's this really beautiful mutual understanding. And I think also because you know this about yourself, and the Two of Cups is coming in here, you're learning that other people will pour into you in the same way, that other people will see you clearly. And like, for example, I talked about emotional intelligence for a while now, and I talked about how it's okay to just be curious about what helps somebody. You don't always need to know the answer, but helping be curious about what's going on. Confirmation verb is where you get hold on. Is where you get the answers that you need, right? Saying, okay, well, you're telling me you like physical touch and you want me to hug you when you're crying, but I can feel you tense up, so what else can I offer you? And sometimes it's like seeing that somebody does know you better than you know yourself, and it's okay because they have the same intent that you have for yourself for you. Does that make sense? So yeah, this is you stepping into your Emperor energy. This is a masculine energy, but it's not gender specific, so if it doesn't apply, don't take it. But this is stepping into your masculine energy of being able to say, this is like you accepting the quote of like, every great man had a great woman by his side, or, you know, whatever that thing is. And understanding that it's better to have, the energy that I'm getting here is it's better to have quality instead of quantity. You're breaking out of your qualitative three's a crowd, gossip, heavy partying, overindulgence. This idea that you're better with people who understand you. This element here of the Fool is like a leap of faith, but the dog, animals are the only, you know, they're really special. And maybe not the only, but animals are really special because humans can say things that make us feel things, but animals are, and I want to say animals are the only creatures that can make us feel loved without ever saying anything. Through their action alone, they see us, they love us, they nurture us in ways that we can't fathom, because it's like, how are you understand, like you, and I don't know if, you know, like dogs are significant. I'm thinking back to somebody used to say a lot that they're like, somebody in my life was like, hey, like dogs understand us, like they can talk English, I know that they can. And I was like, I don't doubt it, you know, because if they could, I'm sure that they would, but there's no need for it because they work off a very primal feeling, and that they don't have to speak to convince you that you are loved, right? So they can do it through actions, they can do it through energy, they can do it through essence. And that's kind of what's going on here, is you're realizing that you want to be around, you want to take new beginnings with people, places, and things that see you as you are, because you know who you are. And if other people see you for who you are, then you're going to be around those people, because there is this idea of like loneliness, and you're breaking out of this solitude. We got the Hermit reversed here. The Three of Cups, going back to that card, also talks about isolation, alone time, but isolation and Three's a Crowd talks about this need to be around people because you're lonely, right? Like not being alone, but being lonely and trying to fill that void. And now you're stepping into this really, really healthy energy of like integration, where you're like, no, because I know even if it's just one person, there is somebody that truly sees me as I am and wants to, like, without anything, like, you know, like he's just so excited to be there. Like the Fool isn't even paying the dog no mind, but the dog is like so excited. He's like, oh my gosh, look, like we're, you know, and it's like finally breaking out of that and recognizing that there's a beautiful integration. The Fool card on the side says unfiltered possibilities. Yeah. With the King of Swords here showing up with the truthful, disciplined, honored, honest, mental clarity, and the Star with, what is this? Judgment and Temperance at the bottom here, splitting in the deck. And the Star, hope, calm, faith, purpose, renewal, fortune, good omens, rejuvenation. There's this idea that you're okay, and I don't want to say like cutting people off, but making very clear boundaries. I'm thinking of a moat, like very specifically, like drawing like think of like a sand castle, and like drawing a moat with a stick, with like using his sword to like draw a moat, to see it's like you can get in, you can come into, you know, my castle and my chamber, and you know, all these different things, but only in a way that honors me. Like you can't not honor me. You have to be able to pour into me to be able to come in. And I'm thinking back to, I don't know if, you know, I don't know if this like kingdoms would be significant, but there's this idea that like you can live under the protection of the kingdom if you offer gifts, you know. And I'm not saying that people have to provide for you, like that's not what's going on here, but this idea of like, if you can pour into me, you're welcome to stay here. But if you're trying to put me in harm situation, like imagine if I came to your kingdom and I was like, oh, my village is on fire, come save it, and you know, half your army died because I failed to mention that there was a dragon, and it wasn't just, you know, it wasn't just a fire, it was like a fire breathing dragon, you know, like then you'd be like, hey, like you kind of set me up for failure, you know. But there is this energy of like recognizing the weight and the value of who you are and who you let in, and also understanding that like, yeah, people have to fucking respect you. Like, why would you be in my life if you don't respect me or the life that I'm living? Because I'm good with being by myself because I honor myself, but I'm also never alone because I know that even if it's just one person, I have somebody that sees me and honors me and is willing to pour into me as me, and not as, you know, they want me to be, you know, like even if they don't like how I'm acting, they honor who I am, you know. There's this energy of like, I don't agree with you, but I support you, which is something I used to say a lot. I'm gonna get a couple confirmation cards before we end. There's a lot of air and fire energy here. Yeah, there's this, just the last kind of thought to take with you is that, again, I've been saying this for a couple of readings now, but use your instinct, because we've got the King of Wands reversed, the King of Pentacles as receiving energy, and then Justice, which it's a lot about like understanding yourself. Justice is also the same kind of embodiment as the King of Wands with this sword up, this idea of like the sword to the sky. I'm thinking of like swords, again, I said fire and air, and this connection that like swords are like melted into place, right? This energy of like, I'm quick to I'm thinking, there's a couple thoughts in my brain right now, hold on. The idea of like, you can cut the tension with a knife, kind of the idea of like cutting air, and when speaking on your instincts, like what is your instinctual answer? I saw somebody on TikTok that was saying, you know, like my gut feeling has never been wrong. I've not always understood it. I've not always been able to share it with people. So some people see me respond or react to a way that they don't understand, or that they don't have the awareness to receive my explanation. But I've never been wrong about an instinctual feeling. So sometimes I've lost friends because of it. Sometimes I've, you know, been like the bad guy because I did something based off an instinctual feeling, but I've never been wrong about it. And there's this energy of like, even if when people come in, because there is this energy of like, now that you're here, you're going to be receiving a lot of opportunities, but make sure that you have accountability on how this feels, because there is also, again, air, fire, fire, earth, air, fire, air. There's a lot of the Fool, air. There's a lot of air energy here, of like, don't be ignorant. Justice reverse talks about a lack of accountability, guilt, dishonesty, punishment, unfairness. And there's this energy with the King of Pentacles being you're receiving, is like, if somebody comes into your kingdom and is like, oh, well, I can give you, like, are you willing to compromise your morals, is what I'm offering. I can give you 3 million gold coins if you house us, but you don't realize that they're like mass murderers, you know, like, that's kind of like, are you aware of what you feel? Are you able to see people clearly? And are you able to accept them into, and like, your kingdom is your life, right? Like, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Is like, are you willing to accept people and see people as they are in the same way that you hope for them to see you? And do you trust that's kind of what's going on, is that they're seeing you clearly? Because that's kind of like the question, is like, that's not the next step, but this is like a test. So I know everyone's like, oh, more tests, but it's like, there's a 1610 might be significant. I don't know why I keep seeing that number, but there's this energy of like, you were tested to see if you could embody the Emperor. You could, and now you're being tested again to see how well, like, at what capacity can you be the Emperor. This is where you really get to like step it in, because you know, it's never, I don't want to say anything's ever wrong, but there is an opportunity here for you to look at, you know, like, what you can really, the idea of like, what would you do if you knew you could not fail? And there's energy of like, you're going to be offered the opportunity to not fail, and how far will you take it if the only kind of qualifier for your failure is not trusting people or letting the wrong people in your life. Like, if that's the only thing you have to do is be around the right company, how far will you take it? Who will you allow in? Who will you reach out to? What will you surround yourself with? And for what intention? Like, are you going to do it because you're lonely? Are you going to reach out because you're scared? Are you going to reach out, you know, because you're horny? Whatever. Like, what is the intention of this? Because you've now stepped into the Emperor energy, which is beautiful. And because everything after but is bullshit. And you are still being tested, not in a way of like, can you do it, but how well can you do it? Because you are setting the example for the universe to follow. And if there's any like case where you allow the wrong person in, whatever it is, or you reach out for the wrong intention, or whatever it is, 2 a.m. calls, whatever is going on there is also this energy of like, will you choose to learn from it and then try again? You know, if somebody sent you to their village and they forgot to tell you that there was a dragon, are you going to be like, hey, okay, so like, now I know to use discernment and ask questions. How was the fire set? A, B, and C. So this is really I think it's a beautiful energy to embody, because you're kind of guaranteed to succeed, but the intensity of which your success is up to you right now. It's in your hands. And that's can be scary, but a wonderful, you know, beginning for you to step into if you trust yourself.